Yo, we're here with Luke.
Hello.
He's been winning with the big Bezel.
Yes, man.
What'd you win?
So I won the store champs a few weeks ago like that, and then I won locals today.
Hell yeah. Show us the spice.
Alright, that's probably not too spicy, but for eggs, just the 4 Pagu. I like this more over the Yarmon because it's just more consistent milling. Because you can just like go into security with any Imon, you can just like either mill 2 or mill 5 depending on what Imon you have. So it's just more consistent than like when attacking mill with the Yarmon.
Hell yeah.
Because you have other inheritables that when attacking mill 2, so you don't want to turbo too quick. So this you can at least control somewhat.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like it. For rookies, probably one of the best rookies in the deck. For Warp Itmon, this Itmon's crazy. You do have to get 20 cards in trash, but be able to warp into the structure deck BEELZEMON and then just like pop off is like cracked. And its Herald is really good, so like when you mill, you can pop a level 3. Which is quite nice, but this is like the main one you want to like keep in raising and then promote when you want to go for like a big push, and then also you can play it off the EX2 BEELZEMON, so you can just like start warp with multiple bodies, which is like really nice, but like easily one of the best Itmons in the deck.
Hell yeah.
And then because of the limit for the EX2 Itmon, I played 3 of the Beta 2 Itmon just to kind of like combo with the Pago and just kind of just turbo mill everything. I wasn't playing this before, but I was like, oh, I'm just going to add it back because I just missed it a lot. But I wanted to test it without and see how it went. And it's just too good not to play. So I don't play it at 4. I just play it at 3 just to kind of, you know, fill the void for this guy. So this is always in my opening hand, I swear. But it's still not bad. Having one obviously does hurt. But it's not the end of the world. You can still easily play this deck because you can top deck it with Aya Marco. You can use it as a search to get Aya Marco and like BEELZEMON. And if you mill it, great. If not, like it's not the end of the world. And then 4 of the Imon X. I was only playing like 2 of this in like a previous build, but I bumped it back up to 4 because you can literally just grab anything from bin, which is like really nice. So you don't have to rely on milling a Rivals Barrage. You can just like evolve this for 0, pitch any option card and add back like BEELZEMON, like a Blast Mode, which sometimes can be important. Like if you're missing the Blast Mode, you can like lose in some situations because you just, you know, if you're missing it, you can either go for game or you don't.
Just makes the grave your second hand.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like it just helps when you, because there are instances where I just don't mill the Rivals Barrage or be in my hand. So I'm like, okay, could just use this to get some pieces back, and it's a free Evo, and its Inheritable is pretty good too. Like when attacking mill 2.
True.
That's why you don't need the Yarmon as much because there's a 0 Evo that helps you mill. That's all for the rookies. Level 4s, one of the best level 4s in the deck.
How you gonna play it?
Stacks your deck and get into memory. I don't need to explain this too much. This card's just cracked. And then other level 4s, play 4 of the BEELZEMON X. Like the Imon X, I was only playing this at like 2 or 3. But this is honestly, like, aside from the BEELZEMON, like the best card in the deck. The fact that you can just like mill 2. The blocker has come up a few times as well. So having the versatility of either milling or getting a big blocker, especially if you go this, give a blocker, go into a Balmong, and then give its effect where it's like on deletion you can summon a BEELZEMON. So you have a big blocker that spawns BEELZEMON. And also when attacking trash too, really nice. Only level 4 I play is just the one Witchmon, just for extra like milling if I can't get to the BEELZEMON X. Just mill 3 on Evo for a 2, and if you have Aya Marco, you can like make it a 1-cost stack like a BEELZEMON, and then you mill 3, gain memory. Like it's just a nice like flex spot. That's all 4s. For 5s, I just play the 4. Balmong and just the 1 Balmong X. Yeah, this card's cracked. Being able to like just mill 3 and then give the stack on deletion, because it checks on deletion to summon a BEELZEMON, which is really nice. And you don't need one of this. This doesn't really come up too much. It's just like an extra level 5. Most of the time you go for this anyway. I do play the 1 X antibody option just for like the combo, just in case it comes up. It doesn't come up too much, but just in case you mill it, you can just grab it back with this, and it's not the end of the world. But most of the time, it's just like an extra copy of the Balmong. And you can add them back off the Itmons and Rival Barrage anyway if you really need to.
True.
For level 6s, I still play 4 of the EX2 one. Just being able to flood the board with Immons is really good. Not much else to really say though. I don't get people that just play like 2 or 3 or stuff. I understand it can be sometimes a little bricky, but you can just top deck them with Iron Marker and whatnot, and BEELZEMON if you have that in the stack. But being able to flood the board with Immons is really important, because if you're missing like a warp one, or you just want to summon back the BT2 just to like mill more on your turn, it's just important not to like run this card, because you are going to be milling this more often than not. And play it 4 because you want to mill it. If you play it like less than that, you're not going to see it as often,
you
right?
won't see it.
Yeah, so you want to see it. And then I played 2 of the structure deck one. This is probably the best BEELZEMON you want to warp into. It just does so much. When Digivolving, mandatory trash 4. When a card is trashed, all turns, you get a memory for every 10 cards in trash, which does come up on both turns, and then gains security attack +1 when this card is trash as well. I would like to play more of this, but 2 is all you need, because you add them back and you don't want to brick on it too much. But
There's a lot of level 6s in this.
yeah, because there's a lot of level 6s, so you kind of have to be a bit careful with like ratios. And then for other level 6, 2 of the X antibody. This does win games, and the effect is cracked to just like trash security, but it doesn't really. You don't have to rely on it as much as people think. But it's more of just like a win more. Like if they have like 3 or 4, you can just trash like 2 or 3, and then get them down to 1 or 0, and then on the following turn you just go for the game. But yeah, you can. This does facilitate like the OTK if you can get there.
Yeah.
But you don't need it. But you play 2 because you want to at least have access to 1 rotation.
Yeah, it'd be really good against like SecCon as well. Anything with really
anything like that. Yeah. So you don't like need it, but it's it does come up a lot as well. And then just 2 blast mode. You have to play 2. 1 like it's just not good, and 3 just be too many. You don't want to brick on it, but you don't want to just not have access to this card, because this is the card that probably wins you more games often than not than the X antibody.
Yeah,
so,
this is your hybrid basically.
yeah,
right?
pretty much. Like if you have 20 more, which is very easy to achieve quickly, unsuspend, gain 3, and then you just swing for another 2 checks, because most of the time you evolve it over the structure deck BEELZEMON. So you swing for 2, Digivolve this, swing for another 2, and yeah, it's pretty good. Most of the time you go X antibody first, trash, then swing for game. But most of the time you can just kind of clear their full security if you don't have the X antibody with this. So solid. That's it for the Digimon. And then for Tamers, 4 Iron Marco. You always want to at least have 1 or 2 of this on board, because it just makes everything, all your evolutions cheap. And the fact that it's like it can search everything, like your entire deck is just cracked. So I was playing like 3 before, but when I cut the EX2, I had to find some room, so I thought I'd chuck in the 4th, and I like having it 4. I don't think I'd go back to 3 or anything like that. You really want to at least have 1, or on your opening turn start with this and like a rookie. That's probably like your best like opening. So yeah, definitely 4 of those. And then for other broken options, 4 of Deathslinger. This card is just cracked. The fact that it already gains a memory for starters if you mill it, but then the fact that it base pops a level 4 for a 4 cost is pretty good. And then the fact that you just constantly milling, you can pop level 6s quite easily, because your aim is to at least get to 20 as fast as possible. So if you can't kill them, you just like Deathslinger, get their body off board, and then win the next turn. But yeah, this card's cracked. So dumb. 3 Rivals Barrage. I would like to fit the 4th, but there are games I'll just brick on it, and I don't like seeing it in my hand. I just want to mill it and have it in like on board. But yeah, this card's great. Like in hand, just pops like the highest level. In security, it's pretty much like Gaia Force.
Yeah.
And then delay effect, if it's milled, you just put it in your on your battle area, and then you can add back any purple Digimon, any purple Tamer. So this really does help. If you have 1 or 2 of these on board, most of the time you're in a good spot, because you can add back like the blast mode, X antibody, like anything, and then just go for game. Just get any missing piece that you need, really. And you can add back Iron Marker if you're missing that as well. So. And the last option is just like one-offs. The one I don't even know what it's called. 7 full cluster, because it's a combo with the X. Also it pops like stuff. X antibody and 1 miss memory boost. This you probably don't need as much. This is nice to have, so you don't like really deck out. And the Miss Memory Boost is just like extra consistency. I had like one flex spot, and I thought I'll just add this in as like a consistency card. You could probably play around with ratios with this, maybe cut something for a second one, but it's not too important. I think one's fine. You got 4 Marcos for consistency, so. Just an extra 1 card for that isn't the worst. So, but yeah, that's it. That's the list.
Congrats, King.
Thank you.
Keep winning locals.
Hey you, yeah you, you've been wondering where I get my singles from. Well, it brings me great joy to say I get my singles from Grimdark Gaming. Whether you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon, Dragon Ball, Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, MetaZoo, or whatever it is you're after, make sure with your purchase to use code LOZA2 and apply that to get 5% off your order. And of course, that 5% goes to helping me out to make this channel so awesome for you. So make sure you check out Grimdark Gaming down in the description of this video and use the promo code LOZA2.